Oh, hi there. What you doing? I'm writing a channel comment to this woman I don't even know.
Wouldn't that be the nature of most comments on YouTube? If by most you mean 95%, then yeah.
Okay, so what are you writing to her if you don't even know her? You're a trashy whore! I hope you get cancer and die, you slutty cunt!
Hey, she does that whole back and forth thing you and I like to do. Yeah, but she isn't nearly as entertaining as we are. This is true.
Dude, what's your problem? Well, she had like a boyfriend, you know, and she totally like broke off with him. Right. So? And then she started seeing another guy, who's like a totally different new guy. Definitely not her ex. Fascinating. And you care about all this because she's a whore! Ah! Slut, 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 slut.
This video's like 5 years old. It's like finding a YouTube fossil. Want to do a video response to it? Let's get this done.
Look at how she moves her body, so promiscuous and naughty. She's a slut. She's a slut.
Slut-shaming is the deliberate act of insulting a woman using sexist slurs in order to shame, humiliate, embarrass, degrade, or intimidate her.
You know, it would have been a lot easier for you to just say slut-shaming when you call a woman a slut. I'm just saying. More than anything, how can you intimidate anyone by calling them like a slut? I mean, slut doesn't seem to be the most intimidating of all nouns. I don't know.
Basically trying to punish her for her actions or behavior or appearance which you don't personally approve of.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I mean, what if the girl likes being a promiscuous woman, i.e. a slut? Well then, I mean, calling her a slut wouldn't be a punishment, it would be point of fact, and that's just what she is. I don't think anyone calls someone a slut to punish them for doing anything. I just think that's just what they are, if they are promiscuous.
And this can include pretty much anything. Having one or more sexual partners.
Stop. That's not how that word works. If you have sex with one person, you are not, by definition, a promiscuous woman. I mean, because a promiscuous woman is one who has sex with many people, and one is not many. So, just saying, that's not how the word slut works.
Dressing in a way you find provocative, acknowledging her own sexuality or acting on her sexual feelings.
You know, for all of the video responses I've done that have revolved around the word slut-shaming, and a lot of people say that it's wrong to criticize someone for the way that they express their sexuality. And I was always like, what the fuck does that mean? So I decided to just go to Google, finally lay that to rest. So anyway, working with the definition of sexuality. Sexuality, pronounced sexuality, is a capacity for sexual feelings, a person's sexual orientation or preference, or sexual activity. So basically, slut-shaming is criticizing someone's, let's be fair, a woman's sexual activity. And the way I see it is this: I mean, we criticize people for doing shit in every facet of society, right? Why exactly is it wrong to criticize someone for their sexual activity? I mean, okay, maybe if you're a social justice warrior. I mean, social justice warriors say it's wrong to criticize anything. Actually, no, that's not true. Social justice warriors criticize all of society all the fucking time. I mean, I really don't see anything wrong with criticizing someone for their for expressing their sexuality. Again, we criticize people for the religions they have, the jobs they take, the amount of weight they have. We criticize people for everything. Why should this be exempt? The answer to that question is it shouldn't be. You should criticize anyone for anything and everything that they do if you think it's a bad action, and evaluate whether or not you think it's reasonable or not. And if it is reasonable, then you can argue that it's reasonable. If it's not, then it's not. I mean, there's no reason to be upset if someone disapproves of your fucking actions. I mean, either you have a civil discussion with them or don't. And it's that simple, really.
Or in some cases, simply being labeled as hot by the majority of people, or exuding too much confidence for your own comfort.
I mean, if that's the case, you already have too much confidence, so if someone calls you a slut, just brush it off. You're already winning at life, apparently.
He's got a girl in Paris. He's got a girl in Rome. He's even got a girl in the Vatican Dome. He's got a girl right here. Got a girl right there.
Yeah, these terms don't sound that much like insults, do they?
Because they're not.
And even when people use terms like man whore or man slut, it's usually in a rather jokish manner, and most of the times without negative connotations. I've heard so many excuses for it.
Stop. Are you implying that there are no logical or reasonable, reasons as to why there would be a double standard? I mean, when you really think about the whole thing of double standards, it's just acknowledging that men and women are different and that there are different standards for two individuals or two beings that, although are the same in terms of the chromosomes they share, and although they're the same in genetic structure, I mean, they are different, and thus they both expect different things from each other, right? So, I mean, again, I don't really understand why people complain about double standards sometimes. I mean, it would kind of reason that we would have two different standards for two different beings. I mean, I'm just saying, but keep going.
People trying to justify it with nature, religion.
Wait a minute, you mean that there are different types of religions that try to reason that it's okay to be a slut? Or to say that it's not okay to be a slut? And that it's okay for men to be sluts? I don't know, I didn't know that. That's interesting, but by the way, you can keep talking.
History, psychology, hell, even evolution. I am a very rational person who doesn't believe in religious superstitions and myths. But from an evolutionary perspective and considering biological determinism, I can conclude that women's sexuality is fundamentally different from men's.
Did you really need biological determinism to figure that out? You couldn't just, look at them? I'm just saying, women's sexuality is fundamentally different. If majority of men are heterosexual, then they like women. And majority of women are heterosexual, then they like men. You don't need biological determinism to figure that out. They are fundamentally different.
And therefore, it is socially abnormal for women to behave in certain ways, which are otherwise acceptable for men, okay? Which pretty much translates to female sexuality scares the crap out of me.
Stop. No, it doesn't. Female sexuality doesn't scare the crap out of anyone. I don't know, why do women say that? Who is scared? No one is afraid of women in and of themselves. Come on, seriously. I imagine you're a very reasonable person. I'm sure you have to level, on some level, it is reasonable throughout history as to why people would dissuade women from being promiscuous and why they would encourage men to try to date as many women as they can. Whether you agree or disagree with it is one thing, but it is reasonable as to why it would stand to be that way. Keep going.
It makes me feel all insecure and shit. So even if I like to pretend I am a free thinker and highly educated in science matters, this shouldn't stop me from being a sexist, bigoted asshole, so I can call women sluts and feel all better about myself, okay? Dear man, slut-shaming is the easiest and cheapest way to insult a woman. You only need the IQ of a tomato to do it, so you probably should consider that most women have gone through this at one point or another.
So?
And that includes all the women you do care about.
So?
Your mother or sister or daughter if you have one, your wife or girlfriend, your female friends, the good women, who you personally think highly of, were probably slut-shamed at least once in their life.
So?
And by people just like you. And I bet you wouldn't have liked it one bit if you're there to witness it.
Personally, I wouldn't give a fuck. If someone called one of my sisters or my friends a slut in my presence, I'd just be like, keep walking, leave it alone. Do not react. In fact, you not reacting is going to hurt that person 10 times more than if you did react. It's all a game of psychology, my friend. Beat them at their own game. Don't let them know it bothered you, even if it did. Just keep walking. There's no reason to get into a fight if you don't have to get into a fight.
Would you like me to say bad things about your mama?
I wouldn't give a damn. In fact, it was my mom who instilled this one lesson into me. My mom told me to not care about the opinions of other people since I was a child. And that is something that has been ingrained within me. It took a lot of years for that to happen, but it sprouted. It was a seed, and it sprouted into a tree. Now, if my mom were to care about the opinions of other people, especially people on the internet she'll never meet, that would make her a hypocrite. And my mom's not a hypocrite. So yeah, my mom would probably be like, I don't care. My mom's a fucking adult. She's not gonna care if people calling me names. My mom has much more important shit to do than worry about people calling her mean names. So I wouldn't care. I would keep walking. It would make me no difference.
Also, you may want to keep in mind that even if you feel temporarily empowered by slut-shaming women and thus feeling like you validated your own sexuality somehow,
Whatever the fuck that means.
To the rest of the world, you look like a brain-dead moron.
You know, the interesting thing about that is it really doesn't matter. Considering the fact that the whole point of them doing that was to bother you, and the fact that you made a video, no matter how old it is, it shows that it clearly bothered you. Which means no matter how brain-dead or dumb they look, as long as they bother you, then they win. Just saying.
Dear women, what's wrong with y'all?
Women are incredibly catty and jealous creatures when they're young. That's what's wrong with them.
By doing this to other women and girls, you are basically validating slut-shaming as an acceptable form of insult.
What?
You are enabling the men to use the same methods.
No, that's called the First Amendment. And even if women didn't call each other sluts, I mean, I'm still sure some guys would call promiscuous women promiscuous women. I mean, men don't use it because women use it, they use it because it's fucking accurate. Or they'll use it in order to hurt your feelings. It's one or the other.
If you respect yourself as a woman, if you care at all about gender equality, you should not further this double standard.
Stop. Just because someone has the same genitalia as you, it doesn't mean that they're automatically gonna like that fucking person. I mean, just because there are other women in the world, it doesn't mean you have any responsibility to these other women by proxy of you just being a woman. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you shouldn't just band together as women to just do shit for women. You should try to make the whole world a better place if you're gonna try to do something like that.
What the shit? In closing, I want to say that I know there are also social double standards that are discriminatory towards men. I am aware of that. But this is not the subject of this video. And two wrongs don't make a right.
And that's pretty much where her video ends. So, yeah. Closing thought? It's nothing, I mean... closing thought, I have a closing thought. A key that can unlock any lock is invaluable. But a lock that can be unlocked by any key is worthless. With that being said, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, yeah, go ahead and click the like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment marks below, and as always, have a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.